Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Bankshot by Pesto. This puzzle is... I'm dreading this one because, as you might be able to see, this is a little killer variant with another variant, both of which are heavy math related that I am not very good at, and I've been told this one is quite tricky. So, yay! I'm not going to get into anything else. The other stuff happening on the channel, it'll come later. I've got to focus on this because this one's going to take me a while, I think. And I may end up using my spreadsheet as a calculator in order to help me with some of the math. We'll see how we go. Why? Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Now, each number outside the grid is a little killer / X sums clue. So the first X digits along the indicated diagonal sum to the clue, where X is the first digit the arrow points to. So it's saying that the first X digits along this clue sum to 18, but X is the first digit that this points to. So if this was a 4, it would be saying that these 4 cells would sum to 18. Okay, that's fair. But if X exceeds the number of cells in that direction, then the sum bounces off the edge at a 90-degree angle and continues. So let's use this one, for example. If this was a 6, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it would be those 6 cells that have to sum to 31, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the X sum clue and everything has this bouncing effect. And that's absolutely insane. And I have no idea how this is going to work. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer, and you may see me cry. Now, where do I want to start? Now, I can tell this one is absolutely going to have to bounce because you cannot do 31 in 2 cells. So this is absolutely going to have to bounce. This is 31. The minimum this could be is 24 with the bounce. So the minimum this could be is 24. So I have to go at least to here. But 24, I could add... So this... But if this was a 4 and this was 9, 8. So if this was 4, does that work? Because 4 with 8, 9 gets me to 21. So that wouldn't work. So this is at least a 5. But then I've got freedom because 5 with 8, 9 is 22. And then I need 2 digits that would sum. So hang on. Why couldn't this be 4? Let's go through that again because I think I did it a bit quick. Maybe I didn't, but I want that back. So if this was a 4, these could be 8 and 9. 4, 8, 9 is 21. That digit would have to be 10, and that can't be. So it can't be 4. But if it's 5, 5, 8, and 9 is 22, and then I need these 2 digits to sum to 9. And there's lots of ways of doing that. Like they could get as high as 18. So as soon as this becomes 5, there's so much freedom it's not funny. But it means that this is at least 5, possibly longer. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, which is okay. This is a 75 clue. Okay, and it's heading in this direction. Okay, so let's look at maximums. The maximums these could be is 8, 9. Which puts me at 17. Now, there is a feature in Sudoku Pad that might be worth people knowing about. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it when I pop this up. But there is I'm not sure where it's listed. Calculate cell sums. You might be able to see it here if I bring up OBS. Yes, you can see it. Calculate cell sums. What that does, if that's turned on, is when you highlight cells, above the title of the puzzle, it will show you the sum of the cells you've got calculated. And because I've got 8, 9 in here, it is telling me that the sum of these cells is 17, even though they're just pencil marks. So if I was to put a 9 in here and highlight those, it's telling me the sum of those cells is 26. So it will allow me to quickly calculate maximums because this is 26. I'm nowhere near 75. So if I was to put 8, 9 in here, then the maximum these could be is 43. So I need to keep going. So if I was to put a 7 in here, or if I was to say these are 7, 8, 9, remember I'm still working towards maximums, and I highlight all of those. Now remember these were 26. So when I add these, I should be at 50, and the calculator is telling me I'm at 50, and I'm still not there. So this must continue to grow. If I put a 9 in there, that will put me at 59 because these were 50. So, and now it's not doing the sum anymore. I'm not sure why. It could tell me that that was 50, but when I add that, it can't do the sum anymore. So something's gone wrong. Although the maximum here would actually be 8 because this is a 9. Maybe that's what the problem was. Because now it's telling me 58. I think the problem was because I had the 2 here. So the maximum here would be 8. So the maximum is 58. If I then put 8, 9 in here and add all of those up, that's 75. So that's absolutely forced. So if this was an 8-9 pair, which is the maximum it could be, this is an 8-9 pair, which is the absolute maximum it could be, because even though they're in individual boxes, they're 2 digits in the same row. This is a 7-8-9, this is an 8-9, and this is an 8-9. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the 9, this is the 8, this is the 8, this is the 9. This is an 8-9 pair, and this is 7-8-9. That's fascinating. And as long as I stick to those, remember, then as long as I stick to those, this 75 clue is now done. That's crazy. So what I'm going to do, I think I can just unmark that, can't I? Because that 75 clue is now completely done. This 33 clue, however, is now limited because the maximum these can be is 4, 5, and 6, which is 15. So let's mark up the possible cells this can be. And the reason I'm saying these are the possible cells is this can't be more than 6 because 7, 8, 9 is taken. So the maximum these could be is 4, 5, 6, which is 15. So the maximum these could be are 5, 6, and 7, which is 18. If I add 15 and 18, I'm at 33. So these must be 4, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7. So this is a 6. There's no 6 here. And these are 5, 6, 7. And the 33 is now done. That's cray. That is absolutely gorgeous. And these are 1, 2, 3. Now this is going to matter, surely. The 42 is almost certainly important here because those cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these cells at least are on it. But we know that these two cells sum to 17. These have a minimum sum of 15. So I'm at 22, 30 minimum. So these cells can't sum to more than 12 if this is 7, 8. But I don't think I'm... I don't know. They're the forced ones. I don't know where to go from there. This is at least a 4. That's at least a 4. Because if this was a 3, it can't be 1 or 2, because if it was 1, the sum would just be 1. If it was 2, this would have to be 18, and that doesn't work. If it's 3, those two cells would have to sum to 17, and they therefore have to be 8 and 9, and that would break that cell. So this is at least a 4, which means this is doing at least that. So those cells are at least on the 20 line. But if this is 4, 7, so those are being pushed down. How high could it get? I think it could go as high as 6. Because if this is 6 and these sum to 8, I could make those... Actually, it could even go to 7, I think. Maybe even 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think it'd go... If this was 5, I'd be including that. But if I was 6, I'd be including that. 1, 1, 7 would be 9. with that being a 6, I'd be at 15, and these would have to sum to 5. I could do that. 7, I'd have to include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 1, 1 plus 7 is 10. These would have to be 1 and 2. So this is 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if this is 7, this is completely minimized. And it could never have been 8 or 9 anyway. So that actually didn't help me much. I don't know where to look. $39. Okay, so this is at least, it can't be, so the maximum here is 24. Then if I add 7, so if this is 7, 8, 9, but I don't think it can be, because if this was 7, 8, 9, I would have to include all of those cells. Actually, that could work, because these could be quite low, and that could be really low. Because if this was, I could do, if this was a 7, I could do 15 in 4, no problem. This could be as low as 7. But if I drop this value, like it can't be 3. It definitely can't be 3 because these two cells would have to sum to 39 minus 3. So could it be 4? If this was 4, those 3 cells would have to sum to 35, and the maximum would be 998. So it can't be 4. Could it be 5? Those cells, if this was, so let's try this. If this was 5, these cells would have to sum to 34. With 8, 9 in here and 6, 7 in here, I can't get to 34. I can only get to 13 plus 17 is 30. So this can't be 5. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. But with 6, 8, 9 and 5, 6, 7, these would be 18 plus 17. 18 plus 17. Yeah, now I've got freedom. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. And it must go at least that far. Oh my Lord. Should I be doing this with lines? I don't know. So I know 8 and 9 are down here by Sudoku. Great. So what? I mean, this isn't 9, but that's not helpful. Is it that 42 clue? Because these could be ridiculously low. So even if this is 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But even with those being, what would that be? That would, but I've got so much freedom here. Even if this was 9, 7, 16. 16 plus 17 is 30. 16 plus 17 is 33. So I'd need to do 9 in all of those, which I couldn't do with that being an 8. So this can't be a 9. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just can't, this can't be a 9. Can it be an 8? Because if this is 8, 7, these would be 15 plus 17, it'd be 32. Plus a minimum of 8, this is a 7. Because if this is 8, this would be 15 plus 12, minimum 32. This would be an 8, and I'd need to get those 3 cells down to 2. This is a 7. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, so it's these cells. Now, I've already got 24, so I need another... Hang on. I only need 18 more. Oh, this has been way more forced than I thought. This is at 24. I need 18 more. And the only way to do that is 2 8s and 2 1s. Sorry, that was way more forced than I thought, making that a 9. Sorry, that was way more forced. So blue is now done. The 42 clue, hopefully, is now done. If I highlight all of those, that's 42. Okay. Now, this 20 clue has an 8 on it. So if this was a 7 now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those cells would have to sum to 5. And the minimum here would be 3. I can't do it. That can't be a 7. Even 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those cells, 8 plus 6 is 14, would need to sum to 6. And I could... No, I can't do that because the minimum here is 5 because 1 is up here. This can't even be a 6 anymore, and that's a 4-5 pair. That 8, of course, makes that a 9. That's a 4-5 pair. This isn't a 9. So this is either 4, which means those sum to 12, or 5, which means I add that cell in. So if this is a 4, these cells would sum to 8. They couldn't be 1, 7. They could be 2, 6, with 2 there and 6 there. They could be 3, 5. If this is 5... then these cells need to sum to 7. But the minimum here is 2, 3. Or they're 2, 4. So this would be 2, 3 with 2, or 2, 4 with 1, if that's a 5. But either of those is possible. Now, 20, actually, is it this 25? Because that 25 can't be in a single box. Because 3 would need those to sum to 2 more. So this is 4, 5, 6, or 7. Now, if it was 4, those cells would need to sum to 21. And considering the maximum there is 13, I can't get there. Now, if it's 5... those cells, so the minimum is those. If this is 5, now the maximum here is 13. If this is 5, I could get 13 here. So 5, 18, and those would need to sum to 7, which I could do. Now, if this is... I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's people who can just see this and go, click. I am not one of them. I can see 9 is in one of those two. Hang on, I can't put 9 in this 20 clue. 9 by Sudoku is in one of those two. But if I put 9 here, what's this going to be? 4, 9, 8. I've already blown the 20. That's not the 9. 9 is here. So this is 1. That's cool. So 9 is in one of those two now. Has that done anything? I mean, yes, it has. I've got some digits, but I'm trying to see how to use any of this. I think it's a combination of these clues and this clue, because the maximum here is 13, is 5, 6, and 7, which is 18. But I've got the same maximum here where I need higher digits. Although down here, I can get as high as 24. So I don't need as high digits because I can then include these digits. One is in one of those two. Yeehaw. I mean, I'm not saying this puzzle isn't brilliant. What I'm saying is I'm not getting a feeling of how this communicates. Like, how does this puzzle communicate to me what's going on? Okay, so there's also this 27 clue, which... So 27 can't be done in 2. It can't be done in 3 because those two cells would have to sum to 24 and that doesn't work. So 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, oh, this is only 4 or 5 because it sees 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it can't... Oh, that. So it's either those cells or I include that. But I don't think I can do it in 4. Because if I do it in 4, what are the maximums? It would be 4, 7, which is 11, plus 3, which is 14, and that would have to be a 13. This is a 5. So that's a 4. Now blue goes down to here, but this is a 4 now. So these sum to 12. So these have to sum to 8. They're not 1, 7. They could be 2, 6. They can't be 3, 5. This is a 2, 6 pair. And the 6 makes that the 2 and that the 6. That's brilliant. I told you I thought this puzzle was brilliant. It's just I wasn't seeing what to do. The 20 clue is now done. And we know these digits are 3 and 7. But we need to get up to 27 along here. Now, if this is 5, 3, 3, that's only getting me to 11, and they would need to sum to 16, and they would be 7, 9, and no, they can't be. If this is maximum without using that 7, if this isn't 7, 5, 3, 3, I'm at 11. These would need to sum to 16. The only way to do that is 7, 9, and I can't place a 9 in any of those cells. This is a 7, this is a 3. Putting 7 in one of those two. Now we're at 12. These 3 cells have to sum to 15 without using a 9 or an 8. So the maximum these can be is 6 and 7. If I don't use a 7 and I use 6, 5, that would need to be a 4, and it can't be. So there is a 7 in there. That 7 looks down saying that's the 7. This is a 7. I'm at 19. These need to sum to 8. I can't make them 1, 7. So they're either 2, 6 or 3, 5. The 2 here takes 2 out of there. I know. Oh, and the 3 makes that the 2. So these are 14, 19, 21. That's a 6. And the 27 clue is done. Holy cow. Now, there's no 6 here anymore. There's no 5 here anymore. This is 7 or 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those must be included in yellow. Ah. What are these digits, actually? I think I want to look at this because they're 1, 3, 4, 8. Now, I can't make this a 1 or the clue is just broken because it'd be a single cell counting itself that it'd have to sum to 18 but is also a 1. If this is 3, those two cells would need to sum to 15. And with that being a 5, that would have to be a 10. It's not a 3. This is a 4 or an 8. And it's not an 8. That's a 4. Holy cow. So these 4 cells, those 4 cells right there, the blue cells sum to 18. But I've already got 10. So these have to sum to 8. And I can't do 4, 4. So it's 5 and 3. And now those cells sum to 18. This is glorious. I can't imagine putting this together. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to change back to color mode so I could remove blue from those. 8 is in one of those two. Now I've got 11 on this line already. So these cells have to sum to 21. But there's a lot of low digits possible. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I included that digit, these would sum to 14. 31 minus 14, 21. These cells would need... If this was an 8, I would be at 8, 11, 22. These cells would need to sum... Is that right? 8, 11, 22. These cells would need to sum to 9. Minimum here is 2 and 3, which would be 5. So these would have to sum to 4, but I could do 3 and 1. I think that's still doable. Okay, let's look at some Sudoku. The 5, of course, made this a 4. Can I resolve this 1, 3? I'm not sure, but this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, I don't know. Eight is down here. That's not a 7. There's no 7 here. So is it this one now? Because if I include those two cells by making it 8, these have to sum to 29. With an 8, these would have to sum to 21. But I think I can do that. I think it's the yellow one. What's this quadruple? 2, 4, 7, 8. That's not 8. Or 7. This is 2 or 4 only. Is that a problem for this? Like, can I get there with 5 now? Because if this is 5, 4, the maximum that could be is 6. So I'd be at 15. This can't be a 5 anymore. Because if this is a 5, I'd be at 5, 4, 6, 15. Those two would have to sum to 10, and they don't. This isn't a 5. What about 6? 6, 4, the maximum here is still, would then be 5, which would be 15. These would need to sum to 10, and the maximum I can get them to is 9. That's a 7. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the extent of green. Oh, this is crazy. So I've already got 10, 16. So these digits need to sum to 9. But again, I think there's lots of ways of doing that. The minimum here is 3. But what's the max? I could take it up to 6, I think. So 3, 4, 5, or 6 is what I think. Oh, it can't be 6 because it sees that. But if this was any higher, if this was 7, those would need to sum to, they'd need to both be 1s, and they can't. This is absolutely insane. So let me confirm. This is 16. So these need to sum to 9. If this is 1, these would need to sum to 8, and they can't sum to 8. If this is 1, these would need to sum to 8, and I can't do 4, 4, I can't do 3, 5, and I can't do 5, 3. This is a 3. So elegant and so beautiful. So I'm now at 10, 13, 17, 19. These need to sum to 6, which is 2, 4. It's not 5, 1, and it's not 3, 3. This is the 4, this is the 2, and I take 2 out of both of those. And that is green done. This is absolutely crazy. So now this is a triple. 3, 5, 6. There's no 6 there. So the minimum here is pushed way down. So maximum. The maximum there is now 13. So if this was a 6 plus the 13 maximum here with 5, 6, 2, if this is 13 and this was a 6, so these would be 19. Yeah, if this was maximum, 5, 6, and 2, 13, and this was a 6, that's 19, and those two cells would need to sum to 20, and they can't do it. That's an 8. There's no 8 or 9 there. This is an 8-9 pair, and the 8 makes that the 9 and that the 8. But this is now 8 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're the digits that are in red. Now, I already have 20. So these cells need to sum to 19. But that makes this a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I've already got 18. Oh man, this math. Sorry, I'm not good at this. I know I'm not good at this. 6 is in one of those two. So 6 is down here. There's no 7 here. Okay. This is a 4-8 pair. Can I get more Sudoku out of this? There's no 7 here. I think I need more math still. I don't want to. There's no 3 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 and 7. The 3 makes this the 1. I think I've been doing okay for me. 7 is in one of those two. So these sum to, okay, so those sum to 18. 31 minus 18. Hang on. 31 is 13. These need to sum to 13. If that was an 8, these would need to sum to 5. And I can't do that. This would have to be 3, 1, 1. This can't be an 8. That's a 4. That's an 8. Right. Now these are 22. These need to sum to 9. These 3 cells here need to sum to 9. If this was a 6, these would need to sum to 3, which I could do with 2 and 1. Puts 8 in one of those two. But if these are summing to 9, with a minimum of 2 here and a minimum of 3 here, this is a maximum of 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not 2. So it's 1, 3, or 4. But minimum here, this is a maximum of 5. So it's 2, 3, or 5 only. Because 5, 3, 1 would get me there. So the 6 is in one of those two cells. Okay, so let's look at the 39, because I have 15, 20 already. These need to sum to 19. Oh, this does not feel good. So am I looking at maximums now? No, because I've got 9s to play with. Because I can put a 9 in any of those three. Seven is in one of those two. Doing 19 in 4 cells when I've got high digits to play with seems ridiculously easy. Okay, 2 is not here or here, so 2 is looking down here, which means 2 is down here with 9. Okay. Oh, 5, 6 pair. That's a 7. Which... is that a 1 or a 2? It sees 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 1 or a 2. But I'm not sure that that's helped me. This is a 3 or a 5. It sees 1. 2 has to be over here for the column. Why can't that be? Oh, yeah, it sees 1, 2. It can be 3. Sees 4. Can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 3 or 5 only. So that is a 3, 5, 6 triple. That's not a 3. So this is a 1 or a 4 for the row. Oh, I haven't got this yet, have I? There's something about these totals that's going to do everything. Probably that cell. Like if I make that cell work for this, it's broken for this. But I can't. I'm terrible at that sort of math. Like, if I solve for this in one extreme and then solve for this, it'll be broken in one way. But maybe? I'm desperately looking for something else. 4 is in one of those two. So 4 is in one of those two. These sum to 9. And I'm now terrified that I didn't take any duplications into effect, but I'm pretty certain I did. There's a lot of restrictions on those digits from other digits, so I'm pretty certain I took duplicates into effect. Like it can't be 333. Actually, could it have been 333? No, because the 356 just took 3 out of that, I think. I hope. Did I ignore 333 as a possibility? No, I took 3 out of that because of the 356, and now it can't be 333. But if it's 3, I could make 6 here. If this is 3, I could still make 6 here. So that's not... If this is 4, these have to sum to 5, which would be 3, 2. If this is 1, these have to sum to 8, which would be 6, 2, or 5, 3, or 3, 5. Oh, don't let me get this far and be completely stuck. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All these others are done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the others are done. So it's only those two left. It has to be something with this. Now 4 in row 6 is restricted. Like 4 has to be in one of these two cells, but 4 has to be in one of those two cells. Like if this is a 4, this becomes a 4. These have to sum to 5. That would push this down. Like if that's a 4, this would be pushed down to be a 3, I think. Yeah, because these would have to sum to 5. So this, if this is a 4, this is a 3. This would be a 5. So this would be 2, 3, 5. If this is 2, 3, 5, they sum to 10, 20, 28. These would have to sum to 11. How would I make those sum to 11? I couldn't use 9, 2. I couldn't use 8, 3. I couldn't use 7, 4. And I couldn't use 5, 6. Holy cow! Because I can't put 6 in them because 6 is over here. So if this is a 4, if this is a 3, this becomes, that's the trick. This can't be a 3. If this is a 3, this is a 5. Then this is a sum of 10. There's 20, 28. So these would need to sum to 11. I can't use 9, 2 because 9 and 2 are seen. I can't use 8, 3 because the 8 is already there. I can't use 7, 4 because 7, 4 sees those cells. And I can't use 6, 5 because 6 sees both of them. So this cannot be a 3. And if that can't be a 3, that impacts this because this has to sum to 9. So if this is a 5, if this is a 4 or 5, this would have to be a 0. So this is a 1, which means that's a 2. There's no 2 there. But these now have to sum to 8, which is 6, 2 or 5, 3. There's no 5 there. But that still hasn't broken it open. Well, there's no 1 there. There's a 1 there. So 1, 2, this is a 3 or a 5, giving me a 3, 5 pair, making that a 4. These are 2, 3, and 4. There's no 4 there. That's a 4. This is a 2, 3 pair. The 3 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 3. Still not broken open? So I've still got to do more. But I know what these two are. These are 1 and 6. And I know the order, 6 and 1, because of that 1. So that's not the 6, that's the 6. This is 2, 3, or 5 for the column. These have to sum to 8. So I can't see how to resolve that. So it's got to be this now. If this is a 5, this is a 6. That's forced. 5, 6 would make that 11, 13, 16, 23, 31. These would have to sum to 8. I couldn't use 1, 7. I couldn't use 2, 6. I could use 3, 5. Yep. So if this is 6, 5, that works. If this is 5, 3, so if this is a 5, this becomes a 3. These are 10, 20, 28, and I know that doesn't work. This can't be a 5. Because if these are 10, 20, 28, these need to sum to 11, and I can't do that. That can't be a 5. That's a 6. Which means that's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 6. Does that get me anywhere though? Actually, it does here because these had to sum to 8. So I've now got on this line 11, 12, 18, 22, 29 to get to 31. That's a 2, which means that's not a 2. So the 31 clue is now done. I'm sorry, this is really tricky at the end. All I've got left is this 39 clue. So 10, 26. So these have to sum to 13. If this is a 3, these have to sum to 10. I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 2, 8. This would have to be 3, 7. So it would be 7 and 3, which seems okay. If this, that's, what was that? That was if this was a 3. I think. 11. I can't remember which one that was. If this is a 3, we're at 9, 11, 21, 29. These have to sum to 10. I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 2, 8. I can't use 4, 6. This would have to be 3 and 7. Okay, if this is a 5, we're at 11, 13, 23, 31. These have to sum to 8. I can't use 1, 7. I can't use 2, 6. So this would have to be 3, 5, which I could do in either order. So this can't be 2 or 9. This is a 2, 9 pair. So 4 is in one of those two. What have I missed? Come on. I'm going to change. I'm sorry. This is breaking my brain. So it goes up to the 7. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. I've done all that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that is right. I thought I'd counted wrong. But of course, when I did the one move, that was the second cell. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that is correct. Okay, so that's it because I want to do some colouring. Because these are 3, 5, and 9. So whatever this is the opposite. So this is blue. This is yellow. So these always sum to 8. Because this has to be different to that, that has to be different to that, and that has to be different to that. So those always sum to 8. So we've got 8, 10, 18, 24, 34. That has to be a 5. Which means blue is 3. That's a beautiful ending. Yellow is 5. That's 3. And now I can get rid of all the colouring. And this line, 11, 16, 22, 24, 29, 39. And I can get rid of the line. And I can mark that clue as done. That's a beautiful ending, by the way. So this is the only place left for a 7. This is the only place left for a 4. The 3 comes out of both of those, so that becomes the 3. This is a 5, 9. That's such a good ending. I'm lucky I found that, considering how bad I am at this sort of deduction. And it's still not over yet. Of course, that 1 looks up making that the 8 and that the 1. That's been there for a while. The 5 goes up making that the 2 and that the 5. But I got distracted by this stuff. The 8 says that's not the 8, that's the 8. I wonder if that would have made life easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I wouldn't have found that really cool deduction, which I think is deliberately there. This is a triple. 1, 2, 9. There's a 1 and a 2 in the row, so that's the 9. I take 9 out. I use the 1 to make that the 2 and that the 1. I use the 2 to look back, making that the 9 and that the 2. I use the 9 to look across, making that the 5 and that the 9. And it is beautifully done. 3, 4, and 7. I use the 3, 4 in the row to make that the 7. Take the 7 out of there. Use the 3 to make that the 4 and that the 3. That is the correct solution. 47.32. I'm happy with that time. considering how terrible I am at Little Killer normally, having this bendy X some Little Killer, bleh, I'm really happy with that time. Particularly considering I went in with absolutely no clue how I was going to approach this puzzle. Math Pesto is really good at turning around and going, I'm going to present you with a really challenging puzzle with something that you've never seen before and still make it that you can figure out your way through it. That was great. Thank you, Math Pesto. This puzzle deserves to be seen by a lot more people, and I'm hoping I can do it. It's been seen by 244 people already in 47 days. When this puzzle, let's see if by, this is coming out in about a week, by 60 days we can get it to 1,000, because it deserves it. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely stunning. Thanks, everyone. Good luck with your solving.